Welcome back to How to Family Tree, where we help you build your family tree, connect to your ancestors, and discover who you are. My name is Elder McNatt, and in today's episode, we're going to show you a very easy way to find more information about your ancestors through record hints. A record hint is when FamilySearch finds a source that could potentially match one of the people in your family tree. A record hint is shown on FamilySearch with this blue icon. There are 3 different places to find these record hints. The first is on the home page in the recommended tasks. Next, you can find them in an individual's profile in the research suggestions area. And lastly, you can find them while looking through the family tree. Remember, these are just potential source matches. Your job is to review these record hints and to see if they are actually a match with the individual's profile. To demonstrate how to attach the source from a record hint to an individual's profile, we're going to look at several examples. For this first example, we're going to look at the recommended tasks. Click on the record hint icon, and that'll pull up a list of all the record hints attached to that person. From there, click on one of the records and then click on Review. This is the summary page. This displays the information contained within the profile with the information extracted from the source. To determine if a record actually matches a person, we're going to compare the names, dates, places, and relationships, or NDPRs, of the source with the NDPRs of the profile. To get started, click on Review and Attach Record. Not every record hint you look at will be a match, and there are many differences between each record. The best indicator of a record hint matching is that there are at least 4 pieces of information that match. As we look at this example, we see the information from the record on the left being compared with the information from the profile on the right. In this first example, there are 4 pieces of information that match: his name, his birthday, his death day, and his death place. Because of this information, it is reasonable to assume that this record is a match. Before attaching the record, make sure to provide a reason statement explaining which data matches, and then click Attach. If you feel like there's not enough information that matches, click Not a Match. It is better to say it's not a match than to say it is a match and be wrong. Now we're going to look at Mary Heaford. For this example, we're going to find the record hint from an individual's profile. When you're on someone's profile, look at the top right corner in the Research Helps box and click on any of the blue record hint icons. That will pull up this summary box with the information extracted from that source. From there, click on Review and Attach. This example is a little bit different from the last one because this one has another name mentioned in the source. This is proof of a relationship, which provides an additional piece of evidence of a match. So far, we have a matching name, christening, place, and date, and a matching relationship. During this process, you want to attach the source to all people mentioned. So let's compare the father's information. Here we have another matching name, which gives us 6 pieces of evidence that this source is a match. Again, make sure to put in a reason and make sure to attach the source to both people. For this next example, we're going to look at Serogenics, and we're going to find the record hint through the family tree. As you explore around the family tree, you'll notice these blue record hint icons. You can click on those icons and it'll bring up that summary box. And from there, you can click on Review and Attach. This one provides a new perspective. In this record, Serogenics is not the focus person. She is listed as the mother in the death record of her son, William. If we go through each of the people, William has the most information, so we'll focus our attention on him. This record has a lot of matching information. We have 3 matching names, matching birth date and place, death date and place, burial date, and parent relationships. This gives us 10 matching NDPRs, which gives us enough confidence to attach the record. This record is wonderful because it provides a new piece of information about the person. If this ever happens, click on the Add button. This next one we're going to access through the fan chart. If you change the color coding to view Research Helps, any one of the profiles in blue indicate a record hint. Open the person's profile and you can access the record hint. Just like the previous one, the record match is not the primary person in the record. This profile has 10 matches, so we'll go ahead and attach the source. In this example, there are many names listed on the original source, but not all of them match exactly. Something to keep in mind as you review these sources is that the information from the source doesn't have to match exactly for it to be a matching source. The name McDonald and Donaldson are very similar, and it's important to keep in mind that there is a chance for some human error in the creation of the record, but the names are similar enough to be confident in a match. There are plenty of other matching NDPRs, so let's go ahead and attach this source. Now, there are 2 people in the bottom left corner that are mentioned in the record, but don't match with any of the family members listed. That's because these are the names of Philip's wife's parents. In order to see these people, we need to change the focus person to Florence. You can do so by going to the Change button and clicking on their name. Now that Florence is at the center, we can see that those 2 unmatched people fit as her parents. The amazing thing about this source is that we have 2 names that we didn't know about before. We're already sure that this source matches, so we can be confident in adding these names as new people in the family tree. Click on Add, confirm the information on the right, then Create Person. What happens if the record hint is not even close to the person it matches to? Well, you can look through your family tree to see if there is anyone that it might match with. Copy the 7-digit ID number and put them at the center of the document. If you're not sure if it matches anyone in your family tree, then click Not a Match. One important thing about adding information to the profile is to make sure the dates and places are standardized. This means that it's in a format that is standard across FamilySearch, which makes it easier to search for. If a standardized date or place is not already selected, select the standardized place that best matches the place where they lived. There are some records that you may come across that don't automatically match the people in the source with the people in your family tree. All we have to do is drag the names from the record and match them with the names in the family tree. But there's one person that's still unmatched. Janetta doesn't match with anyone in the list of family members, so let's take a look at the record. This is a census record, which is a list of all the people living in a household at a specific time. Janetta was living in the household of George Barber and was old enough to be their daughter, so let's drag her into the list to add her as a new person. The next example is another census record of the same family, and we can use both records to confirm each other. The first record was in 1860, and this one is in 1870, which means the information should be about 10 years different. But this is not the case. Sarah, George's wife, was listed as being 42 years old in the last record, but 10 years later is recorded as being 49 years old. This is an example of human error in the source. This example also shows human error in the indexing of the source. In the record, it has Janetta listed as 30 years old, but in the typed up index, she's listed as 39 years old. Don't let these types of mistakes keep you from attaching a source that matches in many other aspects. We also see that Janetta got married sometime between 1860 and 1870, which is why the last name is different now. Now, what if part of the source is attached to someone else? There are many duplicate people that exist in FamilySearch, many of which have almost no information. It can be easy for someone to see a source and attach it to a person with very little information, but it shows up in your record hints because they're possibly a better match than the other person. Let's click on the ID number to look at that profile. In this case, the person the record is attached to looks like the same one as the person in the family tree, so we can detach this record from the other one and attach it to this one. We're also going to merge these 2 profiles together, and we'll talk about the details of how to do that in a later episode. If you're ever unsure about whether to attach a record or not, reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we can help you any step along the way. We hope that today's episode has helped you understand more how to review and attach sources from record hints. In next week's episode, we're going to talk about how to find more sources through your own efforts. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you can continue to build, connect, and discover, and we'll see you next week.